The sun rose slowly over the Egyptian desert, casting long shadows on the golden sand. Aaron wiped sweat from his forehead and adjusted his wide-brimmed hat. He stood at the edge of the great Sphinx, staring at the weathered stone face that had watched over the desert for thousands of years. To most people, the Sphinx was a symbol of mystery and history, but to Aaron, it was a puzzle waiting to be solved. Aaron was a young archaeologist. He loved exploring old ruins and uncovering secrets that had been lost for centuries. His team was small but skilled. There was Lena, a careful and intelligent historian who knew the ancient texts, Omar, a strong and resourceful digger, and Tarek, an expert in ancient symbols. Together, they had traveled across Egypt, searching for hidden places that no one had noticed before. For weeks, they had been examining the area around the Sphinx. Some of the stones looked ordinary, worn by time and sand, but others had strange marks that did not match any known hieroglyphs. Aaron knelt down and brushed away the sand from one of the markings. It was a small symbol, almost hidden, that looked like a circle inside a triangle. He frowned. He had never seen it before. "Look at this," he called to Tarek. The young man hurried over, his eyes widening when he saw the symbol. "This is not a normal marking," Tarek said, tracing the lines with his finger. "It is old, but it does not match the records of any pharaohs we know. It could be a sign of something hidden beneath the Sphinx." Aaron's heart beat faster. He had hoped for a discovery, but now the possibility seemed real. A hidden chamber beneath the Sphinx had been a dream for many explorers, and now, it might actually exist. The team gathered their tools and began searching the area carefully. They examined every stone, measured cracks, and scanned the ground for unusual signs. Hours passed under the hot sun, and their excitement grew with each small clue. Finally, Lena shouted, "Over here! I think I found something." Aaron ran to her side. She was pointing to a section of the Sphinx's base that seemed slightly different from the rest. The stone was smoother, and there was a faint outline of a rectangular door. It was barely visible, hidden under centuries of sand and dust. Aaron knelt down and brushed away the sand. The edges of the door became clearer, and he could see tiny symbols etched along the border. His hands trembled slightly as he touched them. "This could be it," Aaron whispered. "A hidden entrance." Omar crouched beside him. "Are you sure it is safe?" he asked. "We do not know what is behind it. It could be just a small storage room, or it could be dangerous." Aaron nodded. "We will be careful. But we have to find out. This could be one of the greatest discoveries of our careers." The team worked together to clear the sand from the entrance. It took hours, but finally, the door was fully revealed. It was carved from a single block of stone and fitted perfectly into the wall of the Sphinx. There were no visible handles or locks, only the strange symbols that Aaron had seen earlier. Tarek studied the symbols closely. "These markings are not just decoration," he said. "They are instructions. I cannot read all of them yet, but they seem to describe how to open the door. It might require some pressure in certain spots." Aaron examined the door and gently pressed the stones as Tarek indicated. Slowly, with a low grinding sound, the door shifted. A narrow gap appeared, and a cool breeze came out, carrying the smell of ancient dust and stone. The team looked at each other, a mix of fear and excitement in their eyes. Aaron took a deep breath and stepped closer. "We are the first people to see what is inside this chamber in thousands of years," he said. "We must proceed carefully and respectfully." They lit their lanterns and prepared to enter the hidden passage. The corridor inside was narrow and dark, with walls covered in strange carvings that glowed faintly in the light. The air was cool and still, as if it had been trapped for centuries. Every step echoed, reminding them of the silence that had lasted for thousands of years. Aaron felt a shiver of excitement run down his spine. The carvings seemed to move in the flickering light, showing patterns and symbols that were both familiar and unknown. Lena examined them carefully. "These symbols are not from any known Egyptian civilization," she said softly. "They are different. They might belong to a culture that we have never discovered before." Aaron nodded. He looked ahead into the darkness of the corridor. The passage seemed endless, descending deeper beneath the Sphinx. He could not see the bottom, but he felt certain that it led to something extraordinary. "Stay close," he said to his team. "We do not know what is waiting for us. But whatever it is, it will change our understanding of history forever." With their lanterns lighting the way, the team stepped carefully into the unknown, ready to uncover the secrets that had been hidden beneath the Great Sphinx for millennia. The corridor beneath the Sphinx was narrower than Aaron had expected. The air was cool but carried a faint smell of earth and stone that had been sealed for thousands of years. Every step the team took echoed softly, making the darkness feel alive. Aaron held the lantern high, illuminating the strange carvings that covered the walls. They seemed to shift slightly in the flickering light, creating patterns that were both beautiful and mysterious. Lena walked beside him, her eyes scanning the carvings with careful attention. "These symbols are different from anything I have seen before," she said quietly. "They do not match Egyptian scripts, and yet, they have meaning. I feel like they are trying to tell us a story." Aaron nodded. "We will study them in detail later. For now, we must focus on the path ahead. We do not know how far this passage goes." Omar and Tarek followed closely, carrying their own lanterns and equipment. Omar's strong hands brushed the walls, testing their stability, while Tarek sketched the symbols in his notebook. The corridor gradually sloped downward, and the air grew cooler and slightly damp. The team noticed tiny scratches on the floor, almost like footprints, though they were too small and faint to belong to humans. What could have made these? Omar wondered aloud. "It looks like someone or something walked here long ago, but these prints are strange. They are not human." Aaron frowned. "We will find out." But whatever it was careful. It did not leave much behind. That tells me the builders wanted this place to remain hidden. After walking for nearly an hour, the corridor widened into a small chamber. The walls were covered in golden markings that shimmered faintly under their lantern light. In the center of the room was a stone pedestal, and on it rested a small object that glowed softly. Aaron approached the pedestal cautiously. The object was a smooth crystal, shaped like a small pyramid. It pulsed with a soft, golden light, almost as if it had a heartbeat. He held his hand near it and felt a gentle warmth. "This is incredible," Aaron whispered. "It looks like it is alive in some way. This must be some kind of ancient technology." Tarek leaned closer, examining the inscriptions around the pedestal. "These markings describe it as a source of guidance," he said. "It may not be dangerous, but it is meant to communicate or protect something." Lena touched the pedestal lightly. "It feels important. Almost sacred. We should respect it." "I think this is more than a discovery, it is a message from the past." Suddenly, the ground trembled slightly. The team froze, hearts racing. A low humming sound began, growing louder with every second. The golden markings on the walls glowed brighter, and the crystal on the pedestal pulsed faster. "What is happening?" Omar shouted, stepping back. Before anyone could answer, a hidden panel on the far wall slid open, revealing a staircase that descended even deeper into the darkness. A faint light glowed at the bottom, inviting them forward. Aaron took a deep breath. It seems the chamber is showing us the way. Whatever is down there, it wants us to continue. Stay alert, everyone. The team moved carefully down the staircase. Each step echoed, and the walls seemed to hum with energy. The deeper they went, the more intricate the carvings became. They depicted figures that looked human but had features unlike any known civilization. Some had elongated heads, others had patterns of light surrounding them. These are not just symbols, Lena said, her voice filled with awe. They are showing a story. It looks like humans and these beings worked together. They shared knowledge, built things, and explored together. Could this be real? Aaron's mind raced. If it is, it changes everything we know about history. This chamber may hold knowledge lost for thousands of years. We must be careful and remember why we are here. As they reached the bottom of the staircase, they entered a vast underground hall. The ceiling arched high above, carved with golden patterns that reflected the soft light from their lanterns. In the center was a large circular platform, surrounded by what looked like ancient machines. They were unlike anything the team had ever seen, made of a smooth metal that shimmered in the dim light. Omar stepped closer and touched one of the devices. These machines are too advanced for the time they were built. How could ancient humans make something like this? Tarek examined the platform. It seems these devices were not just machines. They were tools, maybe for learning or communicating. The carvings suggest they were used to teach humans important lessons. Suddenly, a soft voice echoed through the hall. It was not loud but clear, speaking in a language none of them knew. The crystal from the upper chamber glowed faintly and projected a holographic image. The image showed humans and the strange beings working together, building cities, sharing knowledge, and exploring the stars. Aaron felt his heart pound. This is incredible. This chamber is more than treasure, it is a library of wisdom. Whoever built this wanted us to learn, to understand, to grow. The team stood silently, absorbing the wonder around them. They realized they were not just explorers, they were witnesses to something extraordinary. The golden chamber beneath the great Sphinx held secrets that could change humanity forever, and they were the first to see them in thousands of years. Aaron looked at his team. We are just beginning, he said. This is only the start of our journey. We must uncover the rest of this place and understand what it can teach us. With determination and awe, they moved deeper into the hall, ready to discover the mysteries that lay hidden beneath the sands of Egypt. The underground hall opened into a larger space than the team had expected. The walls sparkled with gold, and soft light seemed to come from nowhere, illuminating the carvings and symbols that covered every surface. The air smelled faintly of metal and stone, as if the chamber had been waiting for centuries to be discovered. Aaron held his lantern high, and his eyes widened with wonder. This place is incredible, he whispered. I have never seen anything like it. It is alive in a way I cannot explain. Lena stepped forward carefully. Look at the walls. They are not just decorations. These carvings tell a story. Humans and other beings worked together. They shared knowledge, technology, and ideas. This is a record of cooperation. Omar walked slowly around the chamber, touching the smooth golden walls. The craftsmanship is perfect. It is almost impossible to believe this was built so long ago. Who could have done this? Tarek, sketching in his notebook, pointed to a series of symbols that glowed faintly under his lantern. These symbols seem to activate the devices, he said. Look at the platform in the center. It has several controls, like buttons or levers. Maybe it was a learning device or a communication tool. Aaron approached the platform with care. He placed his hand on one of the controls, and the hall trembled slightly. Lights glowed across the walls, and a soft hum filled the chamber. The carvings seemed to move, showing scenes of humans and strange beings working together. Cities rose from the sand, machines flew through the skies, and people traveled across planets. This is unbelievable, Aaron said. These images show humans learning advanced technology long before history remembers. It is proof of something extraordinary. Lena studied the holographic images closely. It is more than technology, she said. It shows values: teamwork, courage, curiosity, and respect. Whoever created this chamber wanted future generations to understand these lessons. Suddenly, a soft light emerged from the platform, forming a figure in the center of the hall. It was tall, human-like, but its features were different. Its eyes glowed faintly, and its movements were smooth and deliberate. The team froze, unsure if the figure was dangerous. The figure spoke in a clear, calm voice, though none of them understood the language. The crystal near the platform glowed, and the voice translated automatically into words they could understand. "Welcome, seekers," it said. "You have found the Chamber of Knowledge. This place was created to preserve the wisdom of those who came before you. Treat it with respect, for it holds the keys to understanding and progress." Aaron stepped forward, awe-filling him. "We are honored. We only wish to learn and share the knowledge responsibly." The figure's eyes seemed to examine him. "The lessons here are not just for learning technology. They are for learning unity, courage, and the importance of ethical choices. Knowledge without wisdom is dangerous. Remember this as you proceed." Omar whispered to Aaron, "Do you think it is real? Or is this some kind of advanced hologram?" Aaron shook his head. "I do not know, but it feels alive. Whatever it is, it wants us to understand. We need to pay attention to every detail." The figure moved toward the platform and touched a glowing panel. A series of compartments opened in the floor, revealing small objects shaped like pyramids, crystals, and metal devices. Each object hummed with energy and seemed to respond to the team's presence. "These must be tools," Lena said. "Not weapons, but tools for learning or exploration. They are designed to help humans understand the universe and work together with others, just like the carvings show." Tarek carefully picked up one of the smaller crystals. It felt warm in his hand, and he could see patterns of light moving inside it. "It is almost like it is alive," he said. "It responds to our thoughts and movements. Whoever made this knew more about energy and communication than we do now." The figure's voice returned. "Use what you find with wisdom and respect. Share the lessons of cooperation and courage. The knowledge here is a gift to those who seek understanding, not power." Aaron nodded. "We promise. We will share it wisely. This knowledge can help humanity grow stronger and work together." The figure paused and then slowly faded into the golden light. The chamber grew quiet, but the energy from the devices and carvings remained. The team realized that they had only begun to understand the significance of what they had found. Aaron looked around at his team. "This is more than treasure," he said. "It is a guide for humanity. We must explore carefully, study everything, and remember the lessons it teaches." Omar smiled. "It feels like we are standing at the start of something big." Something that could change the world. The team spent the next few hours examining the platform and devices. Each new discovery was more fascinating than the last. Crystals that stored knowledge, machines that projected moving images, and symbols that recorded the stories of humans and other beings, all of it showed a civilization far beyond what they had imagined. As they prepared to explore further, Aaron felt a deep sense of responsibility. This chamber was not just an archaeological find. It was a legacy, a message from the past meant to guide humanity toward unity, courage, and knowledge. With determination, the team decided to move deeper into the chamber. They knew the greatest discoveries were still ahead, and the secrets of the golden chamber beneath the great Sphinx were waiting for them to uncover every lesson it held. The deeper part of the golden chamber was even larger than the first hall. The ceiling arched high above them, carved with intricate patterns of stars, planets, and strange beings. Light from unseen sources reflected off golden walls, illuminating machines that glimmered as if they were breathing. The team moved carefully, aware that they were entering a place of great importance. "This place feels alive," Omar whispered. "Every step makes the walls shine differently, and the air hums softly." Lena studied the carvings on the walls. "It is as if the chamber is watching us," she said. "These patterns are not just decoration, they are sensors or records. They respond to our presence." Aaron felt a mix of awe and caution. He approached the central platform, where a large, circular device pulsed faintly. As he stepped closer, a section of the floor suddenly opened, and a large figure emerged. It was tall, made of smooth metal, humanoid in shape, with glowing eyes and intricate lines etched into its surface. The team froze. The figure moved silently, and a low hum filled the chamber. Aaron raised a hand. "Stay calm," he said. "We do not know what it wants." The figure's eyes glowed brighter, and a voice echoed through the hall. "Visitors, you have entered the chamber of preservation. To proceed, you must demonstrate understanding and wisdom. Those who act with courage and intelligence may continue. Those who act recklessly will be denied." Tarek whispered, "It is a guardian. It protects the secrets of this chamber." The metal figure raised its arm, and a series of glowing symbols appeared in the air. The team realized they were a puzzle, a test of knowledge and reasoning. Aaron stepped forward, examining the symbols. They seemed to represent balance, logic, and cooperation. "Look," Lena said, pointing to the symbols. "They are connected. If we press them in the right order, it might deactivate the Guardian or show the next path." Omar hesitated. "What if we make a mistake?" Aaron shook his head. "We have to try. We need to show that we are worthy." Carefully, Aaron followed the patterns, pressing the symbols according to the story the carvings had told. The symbols glowed as he touched them, and the Guardian's eyes shifted to a softer light. The team worked together, combining their knowledge, logic, and intuition. Each step required focus, and every mistake caused the symbols to reset. Minutes passed, but the team remained calm, encouraging each other. Finally, the last symbol glowed, and the Guardian paused. Its voice spoke again, softer this time. "You have shown intelligence, courage, and cooperation. You may proceed. The chamber recognizes your worthiness." The figure moved aside, revealing a hidden doorway. Behind it was a narrow tunnel, leading further into the heart of the chamber. The team exhaled, relief and excitement flooding through them. "That was incredible," Omar said. "It was like it was alive, testing us. I never imagined ancient beings could create something like this." Lena smiled. "It is not just about the machine. it is about the lessons it teaches. Wisdom, teamwork, careful thought, these are as important as knowledge itself. Aaron nodded. This is what the chamber wants. It is not just a treasure, it is a teacher. We must continue carefully and remember the lessons we learn here. The team stepped through the doorway, moving down a tunnel carved from the same golden stone. The walls shimmered faintly, reflecting the soft light from their lanterns. The air was cooler now, and the hum of the chamber grew fainter, though it still felt present, guiding them. As they moved, Aaron noticed smaller carvings along the walls. They depicted challenges humans faced in the past, obstacles overcome through intelligence, courage, and cooperation. Each illustration seemed to correspond with the tests the Guardian had given them. These carvings are teaching tools, Aaron said. They show the way forward, and they show how to act wisely. Whoever built this chamber wanted us to learn from every step. Tarek stopped and pointed to one carving. Look at this one. It shows humans solving problems together, helping each other. That must be why the Guardian accepted us. It was testing whether we could work as a team. The team continued down the tunnel until it opened into another vast chamber. This hall was even more magnificent, with towering columns of gold, intricate machines, and strange crystal devices scattered across the floor. The light here was brighter, and the walls displayed holographic images of stars, planets, and civilizations unknown to humanity. Aaron looked at his team. This is it. The heart of the Golden Chamber. Everything we have seen so far was preparation. Now we are about to discover the true secrets this place holds. Omar stepped forward, awe in his eyes. It feels like we are standing in the future, or maybe a place that is beyond time itself. Lena examined a crystal device, gently touching its surface. It hummed softly and projected a small hologram of humans and alien-like beings working together. It is incredible. This is proof that humans have been guided before. This knowledge could change everything we understand about history. Aaron nodded. We must proceed carefully. This chamber is not just a place, it is a message. We must understand it fully and carry its lessons forward. With courage and determination, the team moved deeper into the Golden Hall, ready to face the wonders and lessons waiting for them. They had passed the Guardian's test, but the greatest mysteries of the chamber were still ahead. The deeper hall glowed with golden light, and the team moved slowly, aware that every step brought them closer to knowledge beyond their understanding. The walls were filled with carvings, machines, and crystal devices that pulsed softly. Every corner of the chamber seemed alive, as if it were observing the visitors and waiting to reveal its secrets. Aaron paused to study a series of symbols on a column. The carvings showed humans working together with beings unlike any they had ever seen. Some had elongated heads, others had patterns of light along their bodies, but all of them collaborated, building cities, exploring deserts, and traveling across strange lands. These carvings tell a story, Lena said, her voice full of wonder. It is a story about cooperation, learning, and understanding. Humans and other beings worked together, and they shared knowledge for the good of everyone. Omar looked around the hall in awe. It is amazing. This place is not just a chamber of treasures. It is a record of wisdom, a guide for how humans should act. Tarek knelt to examine a crystal device on the floor. When he touched it, the crystal projected a small hologram in the air. It showed humans facing challenges, storms, floods, and deserts, and working together to solve problems. Each solution was made possible by communication, courage, and teamwork. This is incredible, Tarek said. It is teaching us, even now. It is showing us the values that matter, not just technology or power. Aaron nodded. The guardians and this chamber are showing us that knowledge alone is not enough. Wisdom, unity, and courage are just as important. This is the true message. As they moved further into the hall, they found a circular platform in the center. Around it were several crystal devices and golden panels with symbols. When Aaron stepped closer, the platform lit up, and a projection appeared above it. The projection was larger than any hologram they had seen, showing humans and other beings traveling across space, exploring planets, and sharing discoveries. Lena studied it closely. It is a record of cooperation between humans and advanced civilizations. It shows what can be achieved when we work together and respect each other's knowledge. Aaron felt a surge of excitement. This is more than history. It is a guide for the future. The builders wanted humans to learn, to grow, and to explore wisely. Suddenly, the platform projected a voice, calm and deep, echoing through the chamber. You have reached the heart of the chamber. Here lies the knowledge of unity, courage, and wisdom. The lessons preserved are meant to guide those who seek understanding. Use them with care. Knowledge without ethics is dangerous. Remember the responsibility that comes with learning. Omar looked at Aaron. It is like the chamber is talking to us. It is alive with purpose. Aaron nodded. It is teaching us. Everything here is a lesson. We must understand it fully before we leave. The team spent hours exploring the crystal devices. Each one projected stories of humans overcoming challenges with intelligence, cooperation, and bravery. They saw humans learning from the beings who had shared knowledge with them, understanding new sciences, technologies, and philosophies. The holograms were not just records, they were interactive lessons, showing how choices affected outcomes. These lessons are timeless, Lena said. Even now, we can learn from them. Courage, unity, and wisdom are what humanity needs to grow. Tarek held one of the crystal devices carefully. It is remarkable. It responds to our thoughts, almost like it knows what we are thinking. The chamber wants us to understand, not just see. It is teaching us actively. Aaron looked at the team. We must take these lessons seriously. This chamber was built to guide humans, not just to preserve history. It is a gift, but it comes with responsibility. We cannot misuse what we learn here. Omar smiled. It feels like the chamber is preparing us for something bigger. A challenge, perhaps, or a mission. We have learned, and now we must act wisely. The voice from the platform returned. Those who understand unity and courage will carry the legacy forward. Those who ignore these lessons will fail. Choose carefully, for the future depends on your understanding and actions. Aaron nodded solemnly. We will honor this chamber. We will learn and share responsibly. Humanity can achieve greatness if we follow the path shown here. The team continued exploring, guided by the crystals, carvings, and holograms. They realized the golden chamber was not a treasure to take but a teacher to learn from. Each symbol, device, and image contained wisdom, showing how humans could grow stronger, more intelligent, and more united. By the end of the day, the team stood together on the platform, looking at the vast golden hall. They felt a deep sense of responsibility and awe. The golden chamber beneath the great Sphinx was more than a discovery. It was a message from the past, a guide for the present, and a key to the future. Aaron looked at his team and said, "We have learned much, but this is only the beginning." The chamber's lessons are clear: unity, courage, and wisdom must guide every choice. If humanity follows this path, we can achieve greatness beyond imagination. The team nodded in agreement, their hearts filled with determination. They knew their journey was far from over, and the true impact of the chamber would unfold only when the world learned its message. Together, they prepared to explore the remaining secrets of the golden chamber, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. The golden chamber glowed softly as Aaron and his team moved carefully among the machines and crystals. Every corner held wonders that seemed alive, but the deeper they explored, the more they realized the chamber was not meant to be permanent. A low hum began to grow, almost like a heartbeat, and the team felt a vibration under their feet. "Do you feel that?" Omar asked, glancing around. "The floor is shaking slightly." Aaron nodded. "Yes. Something is happening. We need to be careful. This chamber is ancient, and these mechanisms may not be stable anymore." Lena touched one of the glowing crystals, and it pulsed brighter for a moment. "The energy is increasing. It feels like the chamber is reacting to our presence, or maybe to how much knowledge we have discovered." Suddenly, a loud rumble shook the hall. Dust fell from the ceiling, and small cracks appeared in the golden walls. The team froze, staring at each other with wide eyes. The chamber that had seemed so calm and eternal was beginning to collapse. "We have to get out," Aaron shouted, taking the lead. "Move carefully, but quickly." They turned back toward the passage they had entered, but the way seemed longer and darker than before. The soft light from the walls flickered and dimmed as the rumbling grew stronger. The carvings on the walls began to shift, and strange shadows danced across the chamber. Omar picked up a crystal device and held it high. It emitted a bright light that illuminated the path ahead. "This will guide us," he said. Tarek examined the panels near the platform. "Some of these machines can create temporary bridges or platforms. Maybe they can help us escape." Aaron nodded. "Do it carefully. We do not want to trigger anything else. Follow my lead." They moved across the hall, stepping on safe platforms as Omar activated the crystal devices. Golden machinery hummed and shifted, creating paths where the floor had begun to crumble. The chamber vibrated with increasing intensity, and dust rained down from above. Lena grabbed Aaron's arm. "Look at the carvings. They are showing us the way. The chamber is guiding us." Aaron nodded. "We must trust it. It has been teaching us from the beginning. Now it is helping us survive." As they moved, a large section of the ceiling collapsed behind them, narrowly missing Omar. The sound was deafening, echoing through the chamber. The team ran, careful to avoid falling debris and shifting machinery. The golden light flickered and dimmed, casting long shadows that made the space seem even more immense and dangerous. Suddenly, the guardian they had encountered earlier reappeared. Its glowing eyes scanned the room. For a moment, the team feared it would attack, but instead, it moved to guide them, creating a protective path and blocking dangerous debris. Its metallic voice echoed softly, "Follow the path. The chamber protects those who respect it." Aaron whispered, "It is helping us escape. We have to keep going." They reached a narrow tunnel that led upward, back toward the surface. The vibrations grew stronger, and the walls around them began to collapse. Dust and sand poured in, making breathing difficult. Lena covered her face, and Tarek held her hand as they carefully climbed the passage. Omar helped Aaron through a particularly narrow section. "Almost there. Keep moving," he shouted. The team pushed forward, their hearts pounding, as the golden walls around them crumbled. They could hear the roar of falling stone and the hum of ancient energy from deep within the chamber. Every step was a test of courage and teamwork, just as the chamber had intended. Finally, after what felt like hours, they reached the base of the hidden staircase they had first discovered. The light from the desert above shone faintly through the opening. The guardian stepped aside, allowing them to climb safely. Aaron led the way, and one by one, the team emerged from the hidden entrance beneath the Sphinx. The desert sun was bright, and the air felt fresh and warm compared to the confined spaces below. They collapsed on the sand, exhausted but relieved. Lena looked back at the Sphinx, a mixture of awe and respect on her face. "The chamber is gone," she said. "It sealed itself, protecting the knowledge and the lessons it holds. We were lucky to experience it." Aaron nodded. "We have the wisdom it taught us, and that is more important than any treasure. Unity, courage, and respect, those are what we must share with the world." Omar smiled, brushing sand from his clothes. "We survived because we worked together. The chamber tested us until the very end, and we passed. That is something we will never forget." Tarek held one of the smaller crystals that had accompanied them safely to the surface. "This will remind us of what we learned," he said. "It is a piece of the chamber's knowledge, and we must use it wisely." Aaron looked around at his team, pride and determination filling him. The golden chamber beneath the great Sphinx may be gone, but its lessons are with us. Humanity has the potential to grow stronger, smarter, and more united if we remember what we have seen and learned. The sun climbed higher in the sky as they stood together, looking at the Sphinx, which seemed to watch over them silently. The chamber below had tested them, taught them, and now it had returned to the depths of history. Aaron felt a deep sense of responsibility. The journey was far from over, but they had survived the trial and carried with them the wisdom of the past. With renewed determination, they began their trek back to Cairo, ready to study the knowledge they had gathered and prepare to share the lessons of the Golden Chamber with the world. Humanity's future, guided by the chamber's wisdom, awaited them. Back in Cairo, the city bustled with its usual energy, but Aaron and his team felt a calm determination. The golden chamber beneath the great Sphinx was sealed forever, yet its lessons were alive in their minds. Every step they took through the crowded streets reminded them of the world outside the desert, a world that could benefit from the wisdom they had discovered. Aaron carried the small crystal they had saved from the chamber, its soft glow visible only to him. "This is our key," he said quietly to Lena, Omar, and Tarek. "Not just to the past, but to the future. The chamber wanted us to learn and share its message carefully." Lena nodded. "We must be cautious. Humanity is not ready for everything we saw. We need to understand it fully before revealing it." Omar grinned. "And we have to remember what we learned ourselves. Courage, teamwork, and wisdom, those are what the chamber wanted us to practice." The team set up a small research lab in a quiet part of the city. Here, they studied the crystal and sketched the symbols and carvings they remembered. Each projection, each hologram, and each device provided insight into advanced technology, ethics, and cooperation. They discovered that the knowledge could help humanity in multiple ways: energy solutions, architecture, communication, and even space exploration, but only if used responsibly. Tarek held the crystal up to the light. "It is incredible. It seems to store knowledge from the chamber itself. It remembers what we have learned and responds when we think about the lessons." Aaron nodded. "It is alive with purpose, just like the chamber. It reminds us constantly of the values it wants humans to follow. We have to honor that." Weeks passed as the team worked tirelessly. They documented their discoveries and practiced the lessons the chamber had taught them. They focused not on power or fame, but on understanding, unity, and courage. The chamber's wisdom guided every decision they made. One evening, as the sun set over the Nile, Aaron gathered the team. We have learned enough to share parts of this knowledge, he said. We cannot reveal everything yet, but we can inspire humanity with what we have discovered. The chamber's purpose was not just preservation, it was guidance. Lena smiled. We can start with what we have learned about cooperation and ethics. That is something everyone can understand, no matter their culture or background. Omar nodded. And the tools we have, the crystal, the sketches, the lessons will help us guide people safely. We must make sure the knowledge is used wisely. The next day, they began a careful plan to share their findings with trusted scientists, historians, and leaders. They organized meetings, presentations, and demonstrations, showing not only the technology but also the lessons embedded within it. Humanity was fascinated, yet they understood that the knowledge came with responsibility. Aaron watched the audience listen with wonder and respect. He felt the same awe he had felt when he first saw the golden chamber. This is just the beginning, he thought. The chamber's wisdom will guide humanity forward if people choose courage, unity, and intelligence over selfishness. Lena placed her hand on the crystal. It feels like the chamber is still watching us, approving our efforts. We have carried its message safely. Tarek added, and humanity is ready to learn. I can feel it. People want to grow, to explore, and to understand. We just have to show them the right path. Omar looked out the window at the city. This is bigger than us. What we learned beneath the Sphinx can change the world if we help others follow the lessons. Aaron smiled, feeling hope for the first time in a long while. The golden chamber was hidden for a reason. It was a test, a guide, and now it has chosen us to carry its wisdom. Humanity can rise above its limitations if we remember what we have learned. Months passed, and the team continued their work. They guided scientists in building cleaner energy systems inspired by the chamber, developed new communication networks, and studied the ethical use of technology. Slowly, the lessons of courage, unity, and wisdom spread. Humanity began to act more thoughtfully, solve problems together, and explore the stars with care and respect. One evening, Aaron stood at the edge of the desert, looking at the great Sphinx. The sun cast long shadows, painting the sand gold. He thought of the chamber below, the guardian, the lessons, and the knowledge they had been entrusted with. A sense of peace and purpose filled him. The chamber's message is alive, he whispered. It will guide humanity if we continue to honor it. This is the future it wanted us to see. The wind carried the soft sound of shifting sand, as if the Sphinx itself was acknowledging their success. Aaron turned to his team, who stood beside him with determination and pride. They had survived the chamber, learned its lessons, and shared its wisdom with the world. Humanity's future was brighter, stronger, and wiser because of the golden chamber beneath the great Sphinx. Together, they walked back toward Cairo, ready to continue their work. The adventure beneath the sands had ended, but the journey of guiding humanity had only just begun. The golden chamber had given them knowledge, courage, and hope, and now it was their responsibility to ensure that the world would never forget its lessons.